So Amitofo Faster, and good evening everybody in Indonesia. Good morning everybody in US. So hope everybody is still in a good health. And thanks today because we still have opportunity to practice together, especially we still able to do our chant meditation sitting with Guo Yuan Faster, Abbot of Dharma Drum Retreat Center. So everybody, please welcome Guo Yuan Faster. We invite everybody to open camera and make a bow to Guo Yuan Faster. So everybody can do Anjali, and we will welcome Guo Yuan Faster to start the session for today. Thank you, Faster.
Good day, everyone. So please prepare for exercise. Stand your feet apart. Your feet are parallel. The width is the same with the out shoulder. And rotate your waist left and right. And swing your arms left and right. One hand, you tap on the shoulder. The other hand, you tap on the back. Fully aware of the movements. Aware of the sensation of the body. Gently come to a pause, feet together. Join the palms. Head movements. Stand your feet apart. Parallel, shoulder width. Tilt your head to the left. And to the right. Feel the stretching of the muscles of left. And right. Return your head to the center. Turn your head to the left. And right. And left. And right. And left. And right. Return your head to the center. Tilt your head forward and down. Backward. Forward. Backward. Forward. Backward. Return to the upright position. Join the palms, feet together. Next, waist movement. Stand your feet apart, parallel and shoulder width. Hold your hands to your waist. Tilt, bend your waist to the left. Right. Right. Back. Rotate your waist. Reverse direction. Return to the upright position. Join the palms. Next, extend up and down. Stand with feet apart, parallel, and shoulder width. Interlock the fingers. Raise arm up. Move the arms more to the back and stretch. Release. Move down. Relax. Relax more. And relax. And relax. Stretch. Release effort and move up. Relax. Relax. And relax. And join the arms. Interlock the fingers. Raise arm up. Move your arms more to the back and stretch. Release, move down slowly. Feel relaxed, really relax. In, relax. Start to stretch a little bit at a time. Stretch more. And stretch. Stay. Feel the stretching of the entire body. Release. Move up. More and more relax. Relax. Join the palms. Interlock the fingers. Raise arm up. Up. Move your arms more to the back. And stretch. Release. Move down. Relax. More relax. And relax. And stretch. Release and move up and relax. Join the palms. Again. release, relax. Release, move up, join the palms, feet together. Next is swing arms back and forth while bend your knee up and down. Stand your feet apart, parallel and shoulder width. Gently come to a pause. Feet together. Join the palms. Next, holding an elbow and rotate 360 degrees. Stand your feet apart. Parallel and shoulder width. This time, step a little bit wider than the shoulder. So you will stand very firm. Raise your arm up. Hold the elbow within the arms and the palms. Turn to the left. Going down. To the right. Going up. Reverse direction. When your hands at the highest point, return to the upright position. feet together. Place your hands to the thighs. Next is knees movement. Bend the knees to the left, front, right, up. When you bend to the left and going down, your upper body slightly bend to the front. And then when you stand up, then your upper body is straight. Reverse direction. And return to the upright position. Now stand with the feet, form your V. Join the palms. Step to your left. Extend your arms. Your arm in the one in the back and the front should be in one level, the same level. And return. Right. You have also turned to the right. And return. Left. Return. Right. Return. Left. Return. Right. Return. Join the palms. Bow. Please prepare for sitting. Loosen everything that's tight in your body. Take off your belt. Loosen your belt, your watch, your glasses. Keep your body warm enough. Join your palms. Place your awareness to tips of let calm down more easily. Place your hand to your knees and rotate your head slowly, starting from the left, front, right, back. Again. And again. Reverse direction. Return your head to the upright position. With the 3 deep breathings. Breathe into the nostrils. Breathe out through your mouth. Bend your body down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Adjust your posture and sit correctly. The body, make sure that all the muscles and then skin of your skull. Okay. We have some problem with the internet. But anyway, come out of meditation and so I hope you've done the massage. Something happens on the internet, and we lost contact. It just happened. So today's talk is about karma and Pratityasamutpada. Well, when we talk about karma, and what exactly is karma? Probably we have a general idea of karma that affect our lives, affect the whole environment, the family, the society, the world. Karma, this word here referring to some kind of actions. And actions create some force. And in Chinese, it's called karmic force, rather than just karma itself. So first of all, karma is some kind of power, the movement that created by, you say, our behavior, our speech, and also our mind. Everything we do will create some kind of momentum of the force that lead to something else. So that is called karma. And karma, we also say that karma, we have the so-called individual karma, as well as collective karma, or maybe we call it shared karma. What is individual karma referring to? Whatever that is individual is doing. through their own speech, their own behavior, and their mind. That is, create something through these persons that doing these things. Then it will create a force. And this force will connect with other conditions. It comes to, it just moves with other conditions that work together and will become something else. And collective karma refers to something we do together. Say, for example, we practice here together today. So there will be a collective karma that we created with so many people. And it moves on to the next and continue on like this. When we observe karma, it's kind of complicated. We can say that karma is also referring to something that is, we cannot really clearly state what karma is like. Say, for example, what happens in Indonesia when the tsunami came? You could feel it. Wow, that is so enormous, it's so serious. And even earthquake happens everywhere in the world, not only just in Indonesia, but in Taiwan, in Japan, in China, and in Mexico, everywhere. And we feel like this is like enormous, something that out of control, that it's difficult to really handle it. Although nowadays the progressions, the high development of technology, and we still cannot really take real control out of it. And it's just like, you can say that, okay, this is really, the so-called collective karma of the certain things that happens in different parts of the world. And individual karma referring to something that's happened to one person. Say, for example, in a family, someone was born rich, healthy, and good looking on the on the outlook. But someone in the same family, they could be born in the rich family, but the health condition is not good. And they don't look so nice, on their appearance. So each one is different. Even for the twins that born, you say twin is very alike. But one is born earlier than the other, right? So it's different. And then when they grow up, there are many things that's similar, but they're not the same. So somehow they have some, you could say that they have some more detailed differences. They could look very much the same from the outlook for something that is not familiar with them, with the twins. But family members or their wife or husbands, will notice the difference. Of course, sometimes they don't notice, but somehow they are individually different. And when we talk about karma, then we cannot but talk about the so-called causes and effect, or causes in result. That is to say, whatever one did before, referring to, well, a very short time, a few weeks ago, or even today, then the effect will come later on. And in the teaching of the Buddha, then we talk about this past, this present, and the future. The past, referring to the time, present and future, all the three are referring to time. But time could be the so-called, for this lifetime, but also many, many lifetimes before this lifetime. So it's the past. And the future will be, many, many lifetimes in the future. There is a common belief that whatever we do, we will harvest the result. That statement is correct. But the thing of understanding, the way we understanding is that if we think that, okay, I have a seed, say the mango seed, and then when I plant the mango seed, I will harvest mangoes later. That understanding is not exactly correct, right? If we don't have, we have the mango seed, but if we don't have the right soil, if we don't water it, and there's no sunshine, the mango will not grow to become a mango tree, and then it will not grow so that we can harvest mangoes. So that is to say, we need to somehow add something to it to make this mango seed to have a tree, and then to grow so that it could flower, and it could bear fruits. So all along the way, we need so many conditions for this mango seed to really become a tree and then bear fruit. So there are many conditions that making this work. So yes, it will have the result that the statement of causes, they are causes, and then they will be result. But the result is what? The result could be you have a mango tree. The mango tree will bear fruit. But the result could be that it becomes like a rotten mango seed. It won't do anything because nothing is added to it to help it grow. Or it becomes that although you have soil, although you have water, and somehow certain reasons, the mango tree is not healthy enough and it won't bear fruits. So different conditions that make it the result.
and the results are there, but the results are different. So that is the idea of the so-called causes lead to results, right? And when we talk about causes and results, then we always have to talk about causes and conditions. That is to say, one cause, the main cause. And then when we want to make it to the result that we intend to do, we need to have many conditions to make it work. Many conditions, say for example, you know, the famous movie star, once famous movie star, the Arnold, right? Very healthy and very, you know, strong movie star. When he was young, he was, you know, he was weak, and he was bullied a lot in school when he was a kid. So what he did was that he really, you know, like go to gym and do exercise and work so hard so that make him very strong. And I think he won the world champions in gym, you know, healthy, become a healthy man, very strong man. And that is to say, yeah, he started out with condition that is not so favorable, you know, to have a healthy body, a beautiful body. Bodybuilder he was. But because of his hard work, he put a lot of time into it. And then he became, you know, the healthy one, the very physically very strong person. That is to say, he put a lot of effort, that those efforts are the conditions. So causes and conditions. Not only that, but we also need to know that one cause itself, the main cause, say for example, anything that you can name it, say a clock. A clock by itself, you can say that is itself, it's a result, right? But the result coming from what? From many conditions that make the clock to be a clock. Say, for example, you need this clock here. You need plastic. You need a digital, you know, electronics, you know, component inside. We need technologies and mechanical things, and not only plastic, but inside there's some metal in it, there's something else in it, so that finally we have a clock. So that it refers to conditions. Many conditions make this clock possible to become a clock now, right? So the conditions that make the clocks, and the conditions always changing. Something else are coming afterward. Say for example, it's been used for a while and then there's no battery, or then the clock won't work, or the contact point where the battery, we put the battery in, become rusty, and then electricity will not be able to go through it, then the clock won't work. So it becomes a broken clock, right? And then one day, because it's been used for a while, and the component, very small component inside got broken, then the clock will not work. And again, it becomes a broken clock rather than a clock, a working clock, clock. So that is to say, is in the stage of changing. Now referring to ourselves, our body, when we are born as a baby. We need to eat food, we need to drink, we need to sleep so that we grow. And then the process of growing itself, we take not only food, but we receive many things, many conditions, you can say that. The teachings, we go to school, right? And we need the place to stay, the dwelling place. And then we need to wear clothes. And then we need transportation, car, travel one place to the others. So, and then we receive the teaching or receive the teaching from schools or from the society. Nowadays, we receive a lot of information on the internet. So all these conditions coming to making ourselves like this, but also we grow from baby to kids to young person, and then to adult, and then we get old, and along the way we get sick many times, and there's some accident happens. So we are very much affected or depending on conditions that making ourselves. And then the way we think always changing all the time, from time to time. Anytime we receive some information, different information, we have some different aspect about certain thing, about life. So ourself is in the process like this. It's called birth, aging, sick, and death. We have to go through this process, right? Because of many different conditions that making like this. And then for the physical world that we are in, it also going through the process of becoming, and then staying, and then decaying, and then it become empty. It's perishing, you say, perishing. So the physical world is like this. And then our mental state also go through this process. Becoming. And then the thought, stay. And then the thought will decay and then finish. Everything goes through like this process like this. And that's how the world, it's like this, it's running like this, functioning like this. And so first of all, is the karma, the force. So whatever we do, what we think, behave, then it will cause a force to become something. And then we have this causes and conditions that work along the way with causes and effects. So we can see very clearly, how it works. Causes and conditions, and then the causes and conditions, right? So for us, if we go through like this process like this, certain time, we will think that, are we just going like this? Is there any choice for us to do something? Then the saying of how to plan the virtuous karmic affinity. What exactly is this planting the virtuous karmic affinity? Is referring to that we do something so that we have good results in the future. Now, if we say that, okay, I'll do nice things, I behave well, so that I in hope in the future, not only in this lifetime, but also in the future, that I will harvest good results, say good life, rich life, healthy body, good looking, everyone or most of the people like me, something like that. And I'll become very learned. Well, we could do something so that in this lifetime, we have this we make this condition possible for us in the future. But we need to know that the teaching of the Buddha is telling us that because of these conditions that is changing all the time, different conditions make things differently, and the result will be differently. So we understood the teaching of the so-called emptiness or the so-called impermanence. Because of impermanence, then we understand what? We understand emptiness. Emptiness because things change. It will not stay. And all these things that stay is just temporary. Say, I just give an example of the clock, right? Yeah, it stays as a clock temporary, but it will change to become an unbroken one. A broken, clock, and then later on, we cannot. It won't function as a clock anymore. So it's the state of changing that itself has the nature of so-called emptiness. So if we want to, if we want to avoid this is to say, yeah, everything is in a state of unsatisfaction. So we don't want to be influenced by this. Then we probably will try to think or plan the so-called virtuous karmic affinity, referring to we understand this impermanence, this idea, this teaching of impermanence and emptiness. Then we try to plan this virtuous karmic affinity that is connected with the ideas of impermanence, the idea of emptiness. That is to say, we practice, but we try not to attach to the good life in the future, but to work towards the so-called the state of emptiness. the realization of emptiness and the ultimate idea of emptiness. That is to say, to realize what exactly is emptiness. And usually we call it enlightenment, right? So that is to say, that's how we try to plant the seed and reflect on ourselves. Could we let go of attachments to many things? But that doesn't mean that we don't care about anything, but actually we need to work very hard to reach that. All right. So this is the talk of karma and Pratityasamutpada. I hope you understand. Now coming to the so-called questions. First of all, is that with regards to the Mayamika and Tathagatagarbha philosophy, which one is Shifu Guo Yuan more resonant, has affinity? Would you elaborate, please? And how about Master Sheng Yan? Well, what I received the teaching from Shi Gong is that, yeah, he talked about more about Madhyamika than the Tathagatagarbha. And Madhyamika is to disregard the so-called existence and also disregard the so-called emptiness. And then not to hold on to the middle, which is in between existence and emptiness. So it's disregard everything. Then is so-called the middle way, because Madhyamika talk about the middle way. What exactly is the middle way? Now, existence means the idea of holding on to a self that is staying forever, right? The emptiness here referring to disregard everything. Everything is empty. Even the idea of causes and effects, right? So it's empty out everything. So it's not the right teaching. And then, so we hold on to the middle, but even the middle itself, you have to let go of it. So that is to say, it is going beyond the so-called existence and unexistent. The emptiness here, this state here, the emptiness that we're talking about is referring to like empty space. Nothing is there. So in the teaching of the Buddha, it's not like this. Just like we mentioned that we never deny the state of certain things that temporary staying, say temporary, this time, yeah, it's there, but it's always changing. That is okay. So we don't deny the existence of phenomena. It's always there. We cannot say, I'm doing this, and I cannot say that it's empty. it's there. I feel it. It's there, but later on it's gone. I don't feel pain anymore. So that itself is do not deny any phenomenon, but they are in the state of changing. So that is the idea, the teaching of it. So Tathagata Gaba, referring to the so-called, this term here, referring to, the Buddha nature that we have. Everyone has the Buddha nature. But the thing with the idea of the so-called Buddha nature, sometimes it's easy for people to take it as there's something there that is, never changed. And there's just something that you could feel, you could see, or you feel it for yourself. So this idea here, it's very easy for people to, you can say that, to mislead people. So that is why Sugong teach this here. He did not deny this idea of Tathagata Gaba. But what he says is that Tathagata Gaba itself is also in a state of in itself is also is referring to the so-called emptiness. Now, this emptiness here is not the emptiness that I just mentioned before, right? So emptiness here is actually he referring to the Madhyamika. So that's what I understood. And then the question is that how about Sugong Mr. Shengyan? Now I think I cannot answer for him. And you say he's already passed away. How could I ask him? Go and ask him. Well, if that's the case, then we need to take more or read more about his books and understand what his teaching is. Then you'll get it. Okay, so this is one question. The second one is in Sugong's book, Zen Wisdom, page 145, 146. There's a basic criteria in choosing over assessing teachers. Consider teachers' causes and consequences, and causes and conditions. Please explain. Well, this referring to choosing a teacher. If you have some idea of what Buddhism is like, then you could use that principles of the Buddhism to know about the teacher that you're choosing. Because being a teacher, there are three conditions. One is that is the teacher able to teach you? The second is that is the teacher behave according to the Vinaya? And is the teacher has the ability to guide you through your spiritual practice, right? And what exactly is the teaching? Well, the guiding teaching is that he also lived through this teaching of, first of all, we talk about this suffering, impermanence, emptiness, the state of no self, and nirvana, right? If his teaching never lived from this impermanence, suffering, emptiness, or nirvana, and also never deviate from teaching of causes and consequences, or causes and effect, or causes and result, and also causes and conditions. So it's the guideline there. So that is, he also lived this way. Now, another thing is about the Vinaya, the so-called precepts. At least he strictly followed the precepts. Very simple one is the 5 precepts. Use it as a reference. And then for monastics, then he should be celebrated. Right? So these things here, you could refer to it as a guideline for you to choose. Of course, the method or practice, as well as the concept of the theories, it will be able to guide you. Now, if you receive or you meet a teacher and you feel resonance with him in certain ways, but after a while you observe, and the way he talked about Buddhism, and then the way he behaved is not according, then probably it's not the right one for you. But also in Sư Gong's book, he mentioned that the teacher, although his behavior, referring to the Vinaya that he's keeping, he may break something, some of the the regulations or the precepts, but his teaching is still the good teaching of the Buddha. Then still consider it's all right to follow him. That's what Sư Gong said in his book, because at least he never lead you to a deviate concepts, teaching, so that you go in a wrong way. So that is the thing. Okay, so I'll stop my talk here.
Okay, thank you, Sifu, for this opportunity to have a meditation sitting with Sifu together and having a Dharma talk about karma and Pratityasamutpada. So allow me, Sifu, to do some conclusion in bahasa Indonesia. Baik, selamat malam Bapak Ibu, kawan-kawan. Jadi saya coba untuk wrap up apa yang disampaikan oleh Sifu kepada kita semua, bahwa karma tadi pembahasan terkait dengan karma itu merujuk kepada perbuatan, action. Jadi ketika seseorang melakukan sesuatu, maka terciptalah yang diistilahkan sebagai gaya. Jadi kekuatan karma diciptakan dari mana? Diciptakan dari mana? Yaitu dari ucapan dan pikiran kita. Nah, hal yang tercipta gaya ini yang membuat seseorang terlahir itu berbeda. Ada yang kaya, ada yang sebaliknya, ada yang sehat, ada yang tidak. Dan gaya ini yang membuat seseorang terlahir walaupun kembar, tapi sebenarnya tidak sama. Jadi apapun yang kita lakukan, baik di masa lalu, kini, dan mendatang, maka kita akan menerima akibatnya. Nah, kemudian kita juga ada dapat perumpamaan tadi, jika kita menanam mangga, maka belum tentu berbuah mangga. Karena banyak kondisi supaya bisa bertumbuh dan berbuah mangga tersebut. Jadi untuk berbuah, maka banyak kondisi diperlukan. Jika sebab-sebabnya memungkinkan, maka akibatnya akan berbuah. Tapi jika kondisinya tidak memungkinkan untuk tumbuh, seperti tanahnya, airnya, dan sebagainya, maka hasilnya akan berbeda. Contoh lain yang disampaikan Sefu tadi adalah contoh Arnold bintang film. Walaupun dia dibully waktu kecil karena dia lemah, tapi dia berusaha keras olahraga sehingga dia menjadi kuat. Kemudian dia juga pergi ke gym dan dia akhirnya memenangkan beberapa penghargaan di gym. Jadi usaha itu adalah berusaha untuk membuatkan kondisi. Nah, jadi kalau kita lihat jam, banyak komponen elektronik, mekanis, logam, plastik yang menjadi kondisi yang mendukung sehingga adalah jam. Tapi kondisi ini senantiasa berubah, kawan-kawan. Contoh kalau tidak ada baterai, maka akan menjadi berkarat dan jam menjadi rusak. Demikian juga kita itu juga senantiasa terus berubah. Cara pikir kita, kalau mendapatkan informasi juga akan bertumbuh dan berubah. Jadi demikian proses kehidupan ini, lahir, tua, sakit, mati, semua proses yang memang kita perlu lewati. Jadi apapun yang kita lakukan itu akan membentuk gaya, membuat gaya, membentuk sesuatu. Dan kemudian ada sebab kondisi yang berjalan. Jadi kalau kita mengharapkan sesuatu yang baik, kawan-kawan, tentunya menjadi harapan kita untuk menjadi kaya, sehat, rupawan, maka buatlah kondisi-kondisi tersebut supaya dapat terwujud. Demikian sedikit rangkuman terkait dengan talk kita hari ini bersama Sefu Guo Yuan tentang Karma dan Pratityasamutpada. Thank you Sefu for this talk. Dan saya boleh undang moderator untuk membawakan membuka slide terkait dengan pelimpahan jasa. Silakan.
So we do the transfer of merits. Please join your palm. We pray for the flourishing of Buddha Dharma, for peace in the world, for the joy and contentment of all people, for the freedom and ease of body and mind. May sentient beings depart from suffering. May the vows of the donors be fulfilled. 回向佛法兴隆，世界和平，人民安乐，身心自在，众生离苦，施主愿遂。Bow.
Thank you, Sefu, once again for this talk, for this opportunity to sitting together. And we would like to invite all the participants to open the video and say thank you to Sefu. Thank you, Sefu. And kami juga menginformasikan Bapak Ibu kawan-kawan semua bahwa sitting bisa diikuti bersama. Ada sitting dalam bahasa Mandarin setiap hari Senin, ya, every Monday. Kemudian sitting berbahasa Indonesia setiap hari Selasa bersama dengan kawan-kawan Ekayana. Demikian juga sitting hari Kamis berbahasa Inggris, ya, hari ini, ya, dan ini akan rutin dilakukan selama masa pandemi. Dan Minggu itu juga ada talk show, dan hebatnya adalah talk show Minggu ini akan dihadiri speaker kita, yaitu Pak Agus Santoso, founder Chan Indonesia, pelopor dari komunitas Chan di Indonesia juga, dan dimoderatori oleh Kevin. So demikian informasi, please join kawan-kawan semua. Ya, thank you semuanya, thank you Sefu.
Thank you, everyone.
Silakan boleh unmute dan say thank you kepada Sefu.
Thank you, Safu.
Very good to see your face at the end.
Thank you, Safu. Take care.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Safu. Take care.
Good day, Pastor.
Yes, Safu.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Safu.
Okay, have a great day ahead, Safu.
Stay Safu.
Stay healthy, Safu.
A good evening.
Thank you.
Next week, Safu. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.